I'm Drunk with Mr. S, and welcome to my channel. Venom The Last Dance releases in theaters today, and that gave me the perfect idea for a bonus episode. I'll be taking anime characters and venomizing them. I've only venomized once on this channel, and so I'll leave that over here on the card for you in case you want to check that out. But for right now, all you gotta do is just sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode.
A young ninja of Dimension A by the name of Naruto Uzumaki was overtaken by a red and blue symbiote known as Wrath. Wrath took over the strongest desire Naruto had of becoming Hokage and twisted it into a dark direction. Naruto began thinking that the only way for his dream to come true was to eliminate his competition. In this case, this meant that he would have to remove all other ninjas from his village, including the current Hokage referred to as Lord Third. While making a beeline for Lord Third, Naruto and Wrath were intercepted by Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and Kakashi Atake, all members of Team 7. It was in that battle that Wrath began to learn that he would have a few limitations while bonded with Naruto, one of which was full body possession. While Naruto was fighting, he would use a special fighting move known as the Rasengan. Essentially, the Rasengan consists of rotating chakra that forms into a sphere with immense destructive power. The downside of this move for Wrath was all the vibrational frequencies emitted by the maneuver. The vibrational frequencies would make it more difficult for Wrath to maintain a full body possession. Wrath also learned that Naruto's other technique, the Shadow Clone Jutsu, would only create shadow clones or duplicates of Naruto and not of Wrath. Oddly enough, the clones did not have the same possession as the original, and began to aid the members of Team 7 to take them down. With the shape-shifting abilities of the symbiote, Wrath was able to transform Naruto's hand into an elongated kunai, so he could get in closer for a striking blow. He was also able to create tendrils that would stretch outward from his body to aid in defense from the other incoming attacks coming his way. The bonded allies between host and symbiote are strong. Will it be possible for the other ninjas of Dimension A to take down Naruto and Wrath, or is it already too late? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and talk about this Naruto design. I really love the way it came out. I really loved how the colors worked together. But if we're going to go back to the very beginning, I think the pose turned out great. I was originally going to do the Naruto run, but then I was like, well, how do I show off Naruto's ability with the Rasengan and also at the same time kind of show like the weakness that the symbiotes have with like vibrational frequencies. So I'm glad I put that in there. I'm glad I decided to turn Naruto's arm into like a different kind of kunai, like an elongated kunai. I thought that made a lot of sense to the character. And for some reason, I just really wanted to do like a Spider-Man color palette. And so that's why Wrath, the symbiote in this case, ends up being red and blue, just because I wanted Naruto to kind of have a little bit of that Spider-Man feel to him, even though Spider-Man's not the actual symbiote. And then also turning like his symbol on the back of his back into some sort of version of a spider. I thought it kind of came out really cool. Let me know what you guys think about this Naruto design. In another region of Dimension A is a town called Karakura. A teenager named Ichigo Kurosaki resides in this town as its protector. He is a soul reaper who fights entities known as Hollow. The Hollow are a kind of monstrous lost soul who can harm both ghosts and humans. On the day of the invasion, Ichigo was overtaken by the symbiote known as Venomized. Venomized is a yellow symbiote who, with Wrath, can possess a host's body. Unlike Wrath, Venomized can combine and amplify the abilities of weaponry. Ichigo is already a master swordsman. This coupled with Venomized's ability just made Ichigo's abilities more powerful. While bonded together, Ichigo and Venomized destroyed the town of Karakura. Many, including Ichigo's friends, tried stopping the Soul Reaper symbiote, but were simply no match for the amplified powers of this powerhouse. Alright guys, so let's talk about this Ichigo design. This one wasn't as clear as Naruto for me. I had to go through a few different sketches until I felt comfortable. But most of the time for me, it's like once I draw the face, I can usually get a nice feel or have a nice idea of where I'm going to go with my drawing. And I think that was definitely the case for this one. In the sketching phase, you'll notice that once I have the face, I completely get rid of my other ideas, and then I start drawing the body from there. And then after I kind of have an idea of what the body might look like, I start finalizing a little bit more of what the symbiote face will look like, how it'll interact with the hair. Design-wise, for the symbiote portion on the face, I I really wanted it to mimic Ichigo's hollow mask. And so that's why I kind of put in the horn above his eye, and I put some of those like designs nearby as well. And I thought it'd be kind of freaky looking just to have like a random tongue kind of come across Ichigo's cheek. Because if you look closely, you got Ichigo's mouth inside of a mouth, right? As it's trying to like fully warp or morph over his face, okay? I also thought just giving him a logo of his hollow mask would also be kind of a cool tie-in for a symbol instead of a spider. And I'm glad I went with that route. I'm glad I went with that whole design because I thought it came out really cool. Adding like the weaponry, I thought it'd be kind of cool if the symbiote would stretch out from around his skin, wherever it is, and then he can kind of hold it with his hand and let it kind of merge with the sword. I wish I did a little bit more with the sword though. I could have added in like some spikes or something more devastating that shows that this symbiote actually did amplify this weaponry. I thought it would have been a cool touch. I didn't think about it until after. I guess that's hindsight for you. But go ahead, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this Ichigo design. One of the most interesting hosts acquired during the invasion was a young pirate by the name of Monkey D. Luffy. The young host had an ability that matched the symbiote race, his ability to elongate his limbs. When the symbiote known as Scrax bonded with his host, the merge was seamless. His viscous body was able to create a solid hold around the host's skin. The two had a perfect bond. Besides the normal effects of physical ability amplification, Scrax was able to suppress the young pirate's weakness to the ocean. Scrax did realize rather quickly that trying to control Luffy's actions was pointless. Luffy's drive to become king of the pirates and finding worthy opponents to fight was too strong. Being a warrior himself, Scrax worked with his host to help him achieve his goal. The two sailed to many islands, challenged strong warriors, and created memories that the two cherished. This goes to show that not all symbiotes are bad. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and talk about the design for Luffy. With this one, I was definitely feeling a little bit more like I was with the Ichigo design, where it was taking me a while. I really didn't know what to do with his arms. I really needed to show off that he's elastic, right? With that rubber fruit, depending on how far into the anime or manga you are, right? We'll just continue calling it the rubber fruit, or the gum fruit. And so for this one, for this design, I wanted to make sure that you can still see Luffy's face, like he wasn't all the way taken over, right? I wanted his hair to be shown. I wanted that like really angry eye to kind of show out. But I wanted this design to look a little bit more different than the other two that I did. I was playing around with those goop designs, but for this one, I wanted it to feel almost as though it was like a perfect fit. And that's kind of where I went with this design and in the story, where I was saying, hey, they merged really nicely. It was almost like a solid symbiote, as if they were truly just one being and nothing at all was like getting in the way, right? So that's why there was less tendrils in this one. But I did thought it was like a cool idea that instead of putting in Luffy's like strings coming from a straw hat, that I would just use the symbiote to kind of like hold it up with its goop. So I thought that was kind of a cool touch. I really liked the way that the pirate logo came out on the center of him. And then I needed to add another color to him, so that's kind of where I ended up putting in like some bands or these little straps kind of around Luffy's skin. I think the red definitely came out really nice on this one, because, you know, Luffy primarily wears the color red, so I thought, hey, let's go ahead and try to see if we can seamlessly put that in as well. And I think overall the colors worked out well. The design looked pretty cool. I liked the pose. I think that arm or that hand kind of touching the bicep could have been a little bit better, but overall I was pretty happy with the way this one turned out. Alright guys, so that's it for me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please show this video some love, and also if you have some other ideas of other anime characters that I can Venomize in the future, please leave those down in the comments as well. I'd greatly appreciate it, especially if you want to see a part 2. If you haven't seen last week's episode, go ahead and check it out, because I also drop information about my second community redraw, And if you're not familiar, community redraw is where you guys, my members of this community, part of my Squad family, get to draw an image that is based off of a prompt that I create. And hopefully you guys will see it redrawn in some way, shape, or form on this channel. So I'll post it up right here. For my October community redraw, design your very own horror monster. The scarier the better. Provide at least one headshot, one full body shot, and provide a name and description of your monster so that this way I can kind of get a good idea about your horror creature, right? And then also provide some lore. I'm going to need that and hopefully utilize it within the story in case yours gets picked. The deadline for this is November 7th, and you can go ahead and email that to dwmsredraws@gmail.com. That's dwmsredraws@gmail.com. And as always, I'm Drawing with Mr. S, and I'll see you all in the next video. Y'all take care. Have a good one. Bye.